Hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Sketchy Saturday video. If you are new here, hi, hello, welcome. Sit in the front so that we can all judge you accordingly. If you have been with me for a while, well, welcome back. You know what a Sketchy Saturday is. If you don't know what that is, let me give you a quick explanation. I simply go through my sketchbook, complete a sketch, I render it, do whatever the things I feel like doing to it, and wait, that did not come out right. I do whatever things I feel like doing to it, right? That makes more grammatical sense, even though that was grammatically atrocious. But anyway, we pick a sketch, we color it up, we glitter it up, we gel pen it up, we do that, and we call it a day. And that is the episode. Today is a rather annoying day in Karla land. The water has been shut off for the better part of the day for repairs. I have a pitcher. I will not dehydrate to death. I have a pitcher full of water and a gallon and things like that, so we're okay. My internet is also, there are issues. There's an internet outage, so I'm dealing with that. So your girl is discombobulated today. The internet, all right, I can do without the internet for a day, not a big deal. But the water, people, I live in the desert. I take about 50,000 showers a day because of the heat. It's summer right now in the desert. Hot, heat, So yeah, I don't like to feel sweaty and gross. So each time I go outside and I come back in and I feel so much as a little bit of sweat, instant shower. All of that to say, there's a reason for me even mentioning that is because being thrown off like that has made me want to grab something that I have not used in a while on my channel. I use them periodically here or there for a little bit of color additions and such, but we are going to, at least initially, watercolor this illustration in Crayola Supertips. If you have no idea what Crayola Supertips are, they are Crayola's water-based markers. That's all there is to it. There's nothing else to explain. They are simply a children's marker that is water-based and therefore water-soluble. So what that means is that you can use them as a pseudo watercolor, and that is exactly what we are going to do today. I have done this in the past. This is not anything out of the ordinary here, but it's something that I don't do often. The illustration that you are seeing was once again a Patreon. I'm waiting for an Amazon delivery. That's where my brain is. It's supposed to be coming today. But it's a Patreon exclusive page. I typically will render my Patreon pages on Sketchy Saturdays. Not always, but usually. So if anyone watching is a patron and you happen to be a patron during the month that this page was released, well, you have it. So go through your archives finder and color along with me. Yeah? Yeah. All right, I feel like I'm hesitating and taking way too long to get started on this page, so we are simply going to dive in. Now, I'm in the mood today because I'm using these wonky, less than great supplies. I want to do my color bleed technique, which is simply where I lay down a lot of color and allow it to bleed into itself. I do this frequently. Not all of my work is color bled to this extent, but much of it is, at least in part. So if you're interested in my color bleed technique, well, baby, you stumbled on the right video. Now, I have to say that the color bleed technique, while it's great with any water-based markers, the color saturation is not going to be quite as intense as it is with, say, a proper art supply, a proper quality marker such as the Tombow markers. Tombow markers are my ride or dies. They are my tried and true. I love a Tombow marker. The pigmentation in those is fantastic. They bleed really well, even on this paper that is not designed for water media. As you can probably already tell, depending on how well it is translating on camera, the sketchbook that I'm using, well, I'll go ahead and let you know what it is if you are new here. The sketchbook that I use at least the one that I've used for the previous couple of years, is the Ohuhu marker sketchbook. Yes, I will have it linked down below. Everything that I use will be linked down below if you are curious about what I use. Now this sketchbook is of course designed for markers. It's the Ohuhu marker sketchbook, duh. And what that means is that the paper is a smooth finish. It is a smooth finish designed to allow the markers a little bit of workability on the surface of the paper. Not in perpetuity, but at least a decent amount of open time so that you are able to lay down a smooth color to prevent streaking and to have a little color mixy marker magic if you so desire. It's smooth enough to allow the ink to stay open just enough for you to blend, and then the color saturates into the paper and dries as normal. All of that to say, this is not water media. So if you've never used this paper before and you are expecting some sort of miraculous watercolor paper effect, you're not going to get it. So I just, fair warning, I always say that just because I know that there are some people who are dabbling in art who are a little timid, and if they begin using a supply that they are not accustomed to and they don't achieve the results that they want, it immediately sends them into their little turtle shell. Either one of those things. And they get scared and they never want to play with it again because they think, oh my god, I suck at it, look at this mess that I made, ugh, awful, I'm terrible, I'm never going to try it again. No. If you attempt this on this paper, you are not going to achieve beautifully perfect watercolor effects. So just be prepared and just know that going in. So don't expect it. Keep your expectations in check. Not everything works out the first time, and that's fine. Case in point, oh my god, the shenanigans of last night. So a friend of mine attempted to teach me how to drive a stick shift vehicle. Those of you who drive manuals are probably shaking your head. Karla, manuals are so easy. I know, but not for me. So he attempted a little bit of a brave effort on both of our parts, you know, because I'm me and I can be a bit much. When I'm learning something and failing, I don't like to fail. I mean, I understand failure is part of the process, but I have been itching and dying to learn a manual vehicle for many years, and I've just never known anyone who had a manual. I know it's a rarity these days. If you're in Europe, I know, but remember, I live in America, and manual vehicles are not super popular unless somebody purchases a sports car. I don't know anybody who has a sports car. Well, no, that's not true, but they're actually not easily accessible for me to bother and have them teach me how to learn. Or teach me how to drive. So anyway, no, it was a complete fail. The only thing I got out of the evening was I kind of sort of know how to switch gears. Like, I kind of get it. I get it. That's going to be the easy part of learning, is the switching gears. No issue. But the clutch part, baby, she couldn't do it. I couldn't figure it out to save my life. And it was terrible. Will we have another lesson? I don't know. I would like to, but I don't know. We'll see. But all of that to say, your first few attempts are going to be awful at whatever you try unless you are some sort of prodigy. So it's okay. Fail. Make a fool out of yourself. Me, who has dreams of driving a Countach through the desert. If you don't know what a Countach is, it's the quintessential 1980s car, the sports car. I would like to drive one someday through the desert by myself without any assistance. So, you know, baby steps, okay? This is a perfect example. If you have never watercolored before, perhaps, and you would like to learn, baby steps. If watercolors scare the crap out of you, get yourself some Crayola Supertips. Actual, literal baby art supplies for babies. Children, whatever. That's babies, okay? Teach yourself with some crappy children's art supplies that you have no problem wasting, because these things are so cheap. But I'll tell you, in a pinch, yeah, they get the job done. Are they great? No, absolutely not. But I'll tell you this, when I first started watercoloring, This was the first set of markers that I purchased. I began watercoloring with the crappiest $3 watercolor set that I could find. Why? Because here's the thing. Trial by fire is the way I learn, for better or worse. In most cases, not always. In all instances, no, that would not be wise. But what I mean by trial by fire, if you don't know what that expression means, is that sometimes the best way to learn is through difficult means. So if I'm going to learn how to watercolor, why not learn with the most lackluster materials I can find? Because that's how you truly learn to strategize and learn how to, I mean, we're talking about watercolor here. Learn how to get your feet wet. Stupid pun. I'm not a fan of puns, as you can tell. But if you learn under the harshest conditions, that's when I feel you learn the best lessons. So if you learn how to paint, and this extends to any other medium, if you learn to paint, watercolor, acrylic, whatever, with crap materials, and you perfect them, when you finally get that set of professional quality materials, you will be surprised at how just the exponential improvement you will see in your style and your technique just because you made the jump to better supplies. You built the foundation already, so now you're allowing the supplies to raise the quality. You're not allowing from the jump the quality of the supplies to dictate your technique. You see what I'm saying? So you learn on something crappy first, and then those skills that you learn translate beautifully to higher quality supplies. The more you know. The more you know. If you didn't know that already, of course. But I'm just telling you, give it a shot, because there are people out there who will they will, instead of learning how to do something right away with what's in front of them, they will cry in a corner, boo-hoo, saving pennies for years to afford the best of the best supplies before jumping into something. And it's like, well, all of those years that you spent saving money on that expensive art supply set, you could have been using those years to start learning on crap supplies, knowing full well that if you could master those crappy supplies into something great, the day that you can afford that beautiful set of professional materials, ooh, the victory is going to feel that much sweeter. See what I'm saying? Trying to pass on some wisdom here because I've been there. To this day, I use a blend of supplies, professional and non-professional. I use it all because there's a certain charm to the look of crappy supplies. Telling you. So can we see how my color bleed technique is literal nothing but bleeding color? That's all it is. But when everything starts to come together towards the end, it looks quite magical, if I do say so myself. Excuse me. I was out last night. And when I'm out, you guys know I talk too much. If I didn't, why would I have a YouTube channel, right? What would I have to talk about? Well, I was out speaking with a friend, obviously, and my voice is a little ragged today. Very much ragged, actually. She's looking cute so far. Let's see. Shall we talk about the inspiration for this page? A friend of mine wanted me to draw something with orchids, so I did. That's it. There's nothing to it. Sometimes when I work on my Patreon coloring pages, the idea hits me right away. Sometimes I ask for ideas from my patrons, and that's just how it goes. Sometimes I put together full-on mashups of Patreon suggestions, Whether my patrons are happy with that, I don't know. They seem to be happy. What I mean by that is I put out a call to action. I say, hey guys, throw some ideas at me for a coloring page. And I don't choose just one. What I do is I go through and I thought, oh, that idea sounds good. That one sounds fun. Oh, that one sounds kind of cool. Then I put them through a Karla blender and then out pops an illustration. So, yeah. I call those Patreon mashup pages. I do also periodically Patreon mashup illustrations, but that's a tale for another day. I have a couple up on my channel. Watch them if you'd like. Wait, do I have one or do I have two? I may only have one actually. Okay, so now we are running into the issue I have with the Crayola Supertips, and that is they saturate the paper very bizarrely and they start to leave weird texture patterns. So I'm going to move on, and I'm going to, you know what, we're going to do a full-on color saturated page because I made a mess out here already. And so we are going to extend the color outward a lot. So like this, it's going to be kind of like a cotton candy background with a little bit of purple tossed in. Now you do have to work a bit quickly, not only when you're using the Crayola Supertips, but with any water-based marker that you're using on this particular marker paper. You do have to work pretty quickly. If that scares you, just know that you do have to work fairly quickly. If not, it's going to come out streaky. See how it's streaky here? Now, I have ways of dealing with that streakiness because I've been doing this for many years. But if you are new, just know that you are going to get that streakiness. Now, could I avoid it by grabbing my proper Tombos and using my Tombow markers instead? Yeah, of course. But why? The lesson that I want everybody to take out of this video today is to not be afraid of making a less than perfect page. That's all. Because again, I know that I have timid people out there who feel that they are unworthy of working on something until the day that they can afford good supplies. No, baby, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. We don't listen to the gatekeepers on my channel. There's no such thing as doing something wrong on my channel. I do everything wrong. Everything. And that probably pisses some people off, but that's fine. Those people need to get the stick out of their rear and loosen up a little bit. I said something to that effect in a recent video. I can't pinpoint exactly which video it was, but it was a recent video within the past month or two in which I said something like, everybody has 10 minutes to work on artwork no matter what your situation is, because a lot of people use not having time as an excuse. And I said, essentially, if you have time to brush your teeth, if you have time to pour yourself a glass of water, if you have time to make yourself a sandwich every day, then you do have time to work on artwork. Oh, people did not like that. Nobody sent me any message directly about it, but when that video came up, I lost a good 10 subscribers from it. And I can only think it's because somebody got offended because I called them lazy, essentially. I don't care, and I'll say it again. If you have time to brush your teeth and take a shower, bitch, you got time to work on some artwork. Don't be lazy. People simply don't like to be called out on their BS, is what it is. They want people to facilitate their wallowing. That's what they want. That's what they want. I have seen people missing limbs, missing eyeballs, otherwise physically incapacitated, create absolute masterpieces. What the hell excuse do I have? Because I'm feeling a little tired today. Nope. We don't play that game here. You see how messy and unexciting it's looking right now? I know. It looks a mess. It looks a right royal mess. I know. But trust, by the end, it's going to look fun. Because one magical thing about this paper is that do you recall how streaky this looked initially? The colors are continuing to bleed out. This paper is deceptive in that you might feel that it's relatively surface dry, but because it is a very thick paper in layers, the internal layers are still continuing to spread color and to dry. So this will continue to bleed into itself. It's weird. I don't know. We are going to do pink skin. She has a bit of I don't know, like an alien-like, insect-like shape to her face. She looks a little scary. She's a little scary lady. Her eyes are a little creepy. I don't know. I like her. A little bitchy, a little fabulous. We like that. Will I toss Tombos into the mix towards the end? Maybe. But for now, this is fun. Just playing with these little boogers. Get yourself some Crayola Supertips. They are so inexpensive and so fun to screw around with. And their longevity is pretty good too. I've had this set for a long time. Now, to be fair, I don't use it on a daily basis, but I find that these little markers, they're pretty good on the pigment load. You can get some decent usage out of them. What color shall we do her drapey dress here? I don't know. Should we just stick with a monochrome pink outfit on her? Pinkish purplish outfit? Like, I kind of like that idea, and then I kind of don't. Nah. What do I always say? The moment you start thinking too hard about something, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Overthinking kills people. It's dangerous. All right, I can work with that. The glove. You know, I'm gonna save some of those details because I do want to throw some gel pen on this. So we are going to allow this to dry completely, all of the internal layers. Let them dry, and then I'll come back and slap her with some more color. Okay? Welcome back. It's been half a second since I was running my mouth, but as you can see, I've done quite a bit of work. It dried. It's still drying here in this section here, so I just went ahead and added some detail work. This is what I'm going to be doing on the rest of the page. A lot of black line work, all of that. So she's still in the ugly phase, but we're getting there. So now I'm just in the mood to play with my jellies. So we've got our jelly roll pens. You guys know how much I love my jelly rolls, especially the jelly roll moonlights. I do like other jelly roll pens in the jelly roll line, but the moonlights, they kind of own my soul. Oh no, maybe not. The pen that owns my soul is two pens that own my soul. That would be, of course, the black glaze, which is a jelly roll. Y'all know my black jelly roll glaze pen, and also the gold and silver sparkle pop glitters, because your girl can't live without them. And yeah, of course, we're going to use those on this page as well. But what I'm doing here is, because there's so much going on this page, it's color bleeding, it's water blobules everywhere and all of that. Yeah, no, blobules is not a real word. Before someone corrects me, I know it's glob and, well, globule and blob. It's a combination of both of those words, so chill out. People with your definitions, just relax, okay? So we are adding some, I wouldn't call them highlights necessarily, but they are accents. I mean, they're more highlights in the hair, but I call them my monochromatic highlight. And I do this frequently when there's so much going on in the color field in the background and it's just a whole lot. It's too much of too much. So in order to temper the craziness, instead of using just a standard basic white for the highlight, I will use a monochrome accent instead. And that gives a little bit of emphasis, a little bit of interest to the colors without being too high contrasty, such as the look would be if you were to use a white pen. Got it? It's not as complicated as it sounds. It's just I have a convoluted way of speaking sometimes, so you know. Just use a similar color as a highlight as opposed to a white. Okay? See, I could have just said it like that. But it's your girl here. What are you gonna do? You know, you expect me to run my mouth, right? That's why you're here. So, yes. We are going to sit there and just fill in the rest of the areas just like this. So I really have nothing else to talk about. This Sketchy Saturday is rather, I mean, it was more of a pep talky kind of situation as opposed to a story because my life is not all that exciting. I have no anecdotes for you today. Nothing crazy has happened to me since the previous time that we spoke. You know, just I've gone out several times, I've met several lackluster people, but I don't want to waste my time talking to you about lackluster people because, lackluster people are the reason why I exist in my hermit cave. I exist in my loner life, right? Because people are time wasters. They waste my time, they make me feel guilty about even having left the apartment, left my art desk, but then on the flip, when I leave and I meet these people, they remind me of why I live the way I live and why living my life this way is the best way for me to live my life. What do I mean by that? Again, without getting into any details and naming any names, I meet certain people, they cross my path, and all they do is waste my time. They have nothing to offer me on any level, not creatively, not emotionally, they're not even necessarily entertaining, they're just time wasters. They're time suckers. So I put up with it for a little while and then I quickly extricate myself from the situation. And when I am headed home, I think, damn, another time waster. I just wasted 2 hours of my life that I will never get back on this individual. But then I have to remember, the silver lining to that is I wasted time on this individual, but this is a reminder. This is another reminder from the universe. Girl, whenever you are feeling as though, maybe it would behoove me to meet a couple of people, maybe it would be beneficial to my life somehow if I were to entertain acquaintances more often, then I'm reminded, this is why you don't. This is why living your hermity loner life is the absolute best situation for you, at least right now. Now, I say right now, but in truth, I have lived my entire life this way. It's always been this loop of me being in the mood to go out, and then I speak to people, and then I realize, you know what I enjoyed about going out? I enjoyed going out, but I didn't enjoy the interactions. It's kind of a weird cycle that I've been in my entire life. And then sometimes I think, it would be fun if I had a group of people that I could do this, that, and the other with. And then I realize it's a nice fantasy, but in reality, girl, it's not going to happen. It's just not. And that's okay. That's okay. I have a couple friends. I have some acquaintances, and it's fine. And they're fine. But I'm very selective. I have a handful. I can hold them all in one hand. And for that reason, I treasure those few people. But in general, this creature, this monster, not designed to play nice with the public. It's just not my thing. And that's okay. If you are in the same position, you've been nodding your head going, yep, time wasters. Time wasters all the way. And I'm talking the true loners, the people who, and I get you, trust me. Because I have people who leave me comments sometimes and they think, oh, one day you'll find your soul tribe. And it's like, no. Why does that have to be the end all be all to everyone's life? Some of us are supposed to be solitary creatures. It's just the way that it is. Different strokes for different folks. There's no, someday you'll find this, someday you'll find that, It's like, no. And I know I have someone watching. There's no way that I don't have at least one person watching. And perhaps I don't know, because apparently I'm an anomaly. But this is not according to me, according to people I know. Trust me, I think I'm the most normal individual in the world, but that's because I have to exist in my body and in my brain. So it's all I know, and it's all you know, it's normal to you, right? So by all intents and purposes, I am normal to myself. But there are people who, like me, who have been completely alone for our entire lives. And this is just probably the way our entire life is going to play out. No best friend, no partner, no relationship, nothing like that. And that's just the way it is. And it's perfectly okay. And it's just exhausting when I hear people say, oh, one day you'll find it. And I'm like, well, no. What if I don't want that? Right? Just because it happened for you and that's what you seek. Shh. This is why people who have weaker dispositions than me are prone to depression when people tell them stupid shit like that. Because they make people, so I'm out here in defense of the loners of the world. I am out here saying, don't give people that nonsense when you say, like, if you have someone in your life who you feel bad for because they are always alone and blah, blah, blah. If this person has explicitly said to you and they absolutely mean it, hey, I'm good being by myself. I'm cool being alone. I'm perfectly comfortable and secure living my life this way. Being out in public is draining for me. When they tell you that and it's the truth, just believe them. Don't make them feel bad about living their life the way that they're living. People tend to make loner types the pariah. And then I have, on the flip side, I have people who are in long-term relationships and in marriages that I know who constantly tell me, oh, I wish I could be more like you. I wish I could be free. And I'm thinking, well, first of all, if you chose a partner with whom you cannot be free, baby, I hate to tell you, I don't care if you've been married 10, 15, 20, 25 years, you picked the wrong one. You picked the wrong one. End it. Oh, but it's easier said than done. No, it's not. We get one life to live. And if it is difficult to leave this person, whether you are in a relationship or couple, married, whatever it is, leaving might be hard, but what's worse, living your life based on some kind of expectations that everyone else has put on you, or even that you've put on yourself, or gritting your teeth, putting up with the headache that is a breakup, a divorce, and all of that, and then knowing that when you come out the other side, you have evolved into another person and you are ready for your next step in your life, right? I don't believe in fear. I don't believe in that. I have been through so much shit in my life that I know that life is not easy and things do get better. Now, it may not take a week, it may not take a month, but things eventually right themselves. It's just, I'm gonna get corny today. It's the circle of life. We have ups, we have downs, and as long as we learn our lessons and improve and not stay stagnant in the same situation that is not serving us, then cool, we've learned something. Ooh, we got Little Miss, what were we today? I wouldn't call it Little Miss Philosopher today. Little Miss, you know how I feel about therapy. I'm not a big fan of therapy for myself personally. I've never tried it and I have zero desire for it. But I don't know. I can't stand the term life coach. I despise it. So we'll not use that either. I think, now again, if life coaching works for you, that's great. But for me, I feel like life coaching is almost insulting. Some people need it though. I get it. But me personally, I just, we'll not dive into all of that, because I think I ranted recently about why I think that therapy is great. If it helps you, great. There are some people who absolutely need it. Some people need it. Okay, I equate it to this. Some people need eyeglasses to see, contact lenses, whatever it is. You need eyeglasses to see. That doesn't make you any less of a person. It's just a tool that allows you to function, right? Well, that's how I see therapists. Therapists are a tool which allows certain people to function. But likewise, using the same analogy of glasses, some people despise contact lenses and some people despise eyeglasses. They're both going to help you in some way, but some are for certain people and some are for other people. Therapy's for some people and it's not for other people. We use other means of finding therapy. There are eyeglasses and there are contact lenses. There are therapists and there are creative outlets. I choose to heal myself through my creative outlets. Contact lenses, therapist. Eyeglasses, creative outlet. Make sense? I hate contact lenses just like I hate therapists. I love sunglasses and eyeglasses, and I love creative outlets. See? It's still therapy. It's still healing. It's still important, but the way I need it to be. Got it? That's still going to go over some people's heads. I know, and I'm going to, if I don't get any nasty comments, I'm going to get some unsubscribes. I know, but you guys know that here on my channel, I don't give a damn if something comes out of my mouth and people misinterpret it and misconstrue it and choose to not understand what I'm saying, and that rubs them the wrong way and they want to have a hissy fit and leave. You were not meant to be here. So I don't care. I posted recently that at 3,000 subscribers, I'm going to start doing live streams, which is great. Every time I mention something like that, I can have a stagnant subscriber count. I could be stuck at, say, I'm not at 5,000, but I'm just saying, say for instance, I'm stuck at 5,000 subscribers and I've been stuck at 5,000 subscribers for a month. The second I say, I have a goal to reach 3,000, immediately after that video goes up, within 24 hours, I lose a handful of people. It's like people are so bitter that they don't want to see other people succeed. Some people take offense to everything and they're just downers, and you have to understand that there are poops like that out in the world, and you just have to pay them absolutely no mind. I don't know how today's video ended up being a little pep talk for, you know, don't feel bad for using shitty art supplies. Don't feel bad for being a loner who people consider to be a loser. That's what I meant to say. You're not a loser, honey. You're not. Unless you are, in which case, quit being a loser. But hey, you know, it's like if I'm all fun and games. I'm all fun and games all the time. But when I get into these tirades, into these conversations, I would hope that at least somebody out there is getting something of value out of what I'm having to say, because I enjoy being fun and games. I do, but at the same time, I also understand that sometimes just me sitting here with a sketchbook running my mouth has a bigger impact than I ever would have guessed that it would ever have. I've told you guys this many times, that it baffles me, and I'm shocked when people tell me, Karla, I watched this video of yours the other day and it helped me through this, that, and the other. I was going through a rough time, and I won't get into details, but people tell me this. And I think, oh my God, my silly little rants are actually doing a world of good to some people. And I freaking dig that. So now at this point, I want to add in some more black line work, but these orchids here are bothering me just a touch. Like, I need to add something to them, and I'm not sure what it is. Perhaps we need to, is it glitter time? Is it glitter time now? No, maybe not. Let me go ahead and do just a bit more line work on the foliage in the back. I don't know what these plants are. They're just leaves. Just generical leaves of some kind. And then I want to play with some other kind of pen today, but I'm just not sure which one. Should we add a little bit of color to these orchids? What color though? You know, we're not afraid of doing ugly things around here, so let's grab my favorite Jelly Roll color. which is, if you've been here for a while, say it with me, neon vermilion, neon red, whatever. I think technically it used to at one point be called neon vermilion. Does it match? No, not necessarily, but are we going to do it anyway? Well, yeah, of course. You know what I'm considering doing? I've been in the mood to film something similar to this, and I just hadn't been able to put the idea together until right now that I'm sitting here working on this. I'm thinking, oh, ding, idea. And I'm telling you, my brain, it never shuts off. A 6-month sketchbook check-in. At the end of the year, for the previous few years, I've been uploading sketchbook tour videos, and that's when people see a completed sketchbook, or at least the sketchbook as far as I've gotten in that year. I do a little screw, you know, this is 2020, this is my completed sketchbook for 2020, or this is everything that I completed in my sketchbook in 2020, something like that. And I think instead of waiting until the end of the year to see the whole beautiful thing, it would be fun to do a half-a-year check-in, a 6-month check-in of the process of my sketchbook, so that people can see everything that I've been working on, that I've not been putting on camera, or things that are in progress. And then at the end of the year, they can watch my full sketchbook tour video, and then they can rewatch this one and say, oh, look at everything that she added, look at the progress of a sketchbook. I think that would be fun. I think we're going to try it. So right now, the time that I'm filming this, we're still in June. So I think by the end of the month, I will have a couple more pages completed in here, whether they're simple pencil sketches or whatever it is. I think we're going to film a 6-month check-in. Now I don't know if that's going to be uploaded before or after this Sketchy Saturday, because now I'm getting ahead of myself. But this is how ideas formulate in my brain. They just pop in out of nowhere. It is what it is. Welcome to the artist brain. It never ever turns off. So now you can see, back to what I was saying earlier about time wasters, I probably wouldn't have these ideas if I was out wasting my time in public with people. Because, you know, when you're out in public, you have to, and you don't have to, but it's expected that you at least pretend to pay attention to what people are talking about. And as such, when I'm busy putting an effort into the nonsense that people are spewing from their lips, that takes away energy from my brain being able to freely think up ideas. Now, that's not to say that I haven't come up with random ideas while I'm talking to people that I don't want to speak to out in public, because it has happened. But it's just easier when I don't have that mental blockage of having to interact, you know? I know that probably makes me sound a little bit bitchy, but it's the truth. Nobody likes pointless conversations. If you have a day job, I equate it to those boring ass pointless meetings where you think, oh my God, I just wasted my time. I could have been doing something productive in this meeting instead of listening to all this drivel, right? Could be doing anything else instead of listening to this. Oh my God. Can you imagine me in church? The boredom. The boredom of it all. Graduations, weddings. It bores me half to tears, all of it. Unless someone is going to have some sort of a disco wedding from start to finish, I'm not interested. Please don't invite me. I will send a gift. I mean, I could show up and be the gift, but you know. All right, I'm going to stop running my mouth, work on this a little bit more, and then I will rejoin you because this one's a lot. This one's involved. Very messy, but still involved. Kind of like me. All right, I'll see you in a bit. You all, I have just realized that this Sketchy Saturday, because it is so involved, it's taking longer than usual. And because I'm talking, you know that when I speak, it takes even longer for me to finish something. It's going to be very long if I don't cut out a hefty chunk. So what I'm going to do is just chit chat with you while I fill in the gold, because your girl jumped in and grabbed her gold. I mentioned earlier that this is one of my favorite pens. This is one of the ones that owns my soul. This is the gold Sparkle Pop. So what I'm going to do is fill in some of the accessories, the earrings and this whatever this thing is on her head with the gold, and then I'm gonna go away, and if I don't finish the entire thing off camera, I will at least finish a good portion of it, because I don't want this Sketchy Saturday to be too far over an hour. I've said that before. 45 minutes to an hour is kind of the sweet spot with videos. I never know. I can never predict, because there are people who would love it if I uploaded 6-hour videos, and there are people who only have a 10-minute attention span. It's difficult to tell. So I just set arbitrary limits for certain types of videos, and for most Sketchy Saturdays and color and chats, 45 minutes to an hour is where I like to fall for those long form videos. That way my vlogs can be about 15 to 20 minutes, and any illustration videos could be right around 15 to 20 minutes as well. So that way my channel has 15 to 20 minute videos as well as 45 minute to an hour videos. Got it? And then one day when we do our live chats, ooh, how long are our live chats going to be? An hour? I think an hour exactly to start would be comfortable, because that will allow people to, it will give people time to come in and then settle in with me, and then we'll have a little chit chat. I think an hour is good. That might be a little long at first. It might be a little scary for this one. Again, I'm not scared because I'm afraid to speak to the public. It's not that at all. You guys know I'm a ham. I love to talk, clearly. But it's just the whole newness of the situation. A live video? Oh, that's scary. But we'll see how that goes. Again, we'll see, because we inch closer, and then every time I upload a new video and I say something offensive to people, I lose a good chunk of people. So 1 step forward, 10 steps back is what it feels like usually. So we'll see. We'll see how many people I offend with this video. I don't think I said anything that could be considered offensive this time around. But then again, you never know with people. You never know. And you know me, I don't watch my mouth. There's a lot that I could talk about that I just choose not to. But in generally speaking, with the general conversations that I have, I think they're very banal and very easily digestible for most people. And yet people still find offense to them. They think I'm some sort of monster, youth corrupter. I'm like, all right, whatever you say. You can say whatever you want as long as you say it and then promptly get the hell out of here, because I don't need you here. Nobody wants you here. That being said, if you like my shenanigans, whether you watch the entire video or not, subscribe and leave a like. Those things, YouTube, I mean, here's the thing about YouTube. YouTube thinks you're important. It will deem you worthy of promotion and better status on YouTube if people throw a simple like on your video, if they leave a comment. Don't ask me why and don't ask me how, nor do I care about those things, but I do enjoy reaching an audience. I do this because I enjoy the views, obviously. People who say we don't do it for the views, no, everybody does. I enjoy spreading my sparkly black vampire gospel around the world. You know, my sparkly little black heart. So I do enjoy reaching people. I enjoy promoting my artwork and promoting my books. I mean, this is what I do. This is my life, right? So we're not denying that part of it. But the fact that people base their personal importance on what YouTube says they're worth is not okay. But that being said, even though my audience is very small and YouTube doesn't necessarily care for my content because, like I said, people are regularly unsubscribing from me. I mean, daily I lose at least 1 or 2 people, but every time I upload a longer, more substantial video, I lose about 3 to 5 easily every single time. And so when YouTube sees that, it thinks, oh, this girl's not worthy, we don't like her, she's trash, blah blah blah. So therefore it makes it more difficult for my videos to be recommended when people do a search. Basically, as always, I am punished for being myself. If you guys have been on my channel, you've been hearing my situation right now where I was basically forced to leave a day job because I couldn't stand being told that I was too much of too much. My skills were appreciated, but me as a human being, I was basically hot garbage, right? And I just couldn't deal with it. And YouTube is basically doing the same thing. It's like, oh, if this girl is not easily digestible to the public at large, if she's too niche, if the things that she talks about rub people the wrong way, well, we're gonna punish her by making her difficult to find. And that sucks because I am here for the weirdos. This is supposed to be a home for the people who are maybe a little bit offbeat in their beliefs and their thoughts in their artwork. And the fact that YouTube itself is suppressing that in favor of more conservative, easy people, then that's an issue, you know? Am I going to stop being on YouTube? No, of course not. My channel has been slow growing for many years, and that has not deterred me from the platform. No, ma'am. My video schedule may be inconsistent, but I've never left. I've never been away for more than a few weeks at a time. I always come back. I enjoy YouTube. I enjoy social media. I do. I don't enjoy playing the social media games, the popularity contests. I'm not going to suddenly turn my channel into, you know, easily digestible, wholesome content. It's not my style. And I appreciate all of you for being here and understanding that and just loving your weirdo, because your weirdo loves you. That's how I talk to the dog. I love you. Ooh. Yeah, baby noises, little cutesy boopsy noises. I'm not immune to the cutesy boopsy noises. I do it all day. All day. For better or worse, ask the dogs whether or not they appreciate it. I say dogs, I did not get another dog. I mean, whatever dog that is here at the time. My dog, and then sometimes we dog sit and such. They love it. They love the baby talk. Ooh. It's more cartoony talk than anything. It's not real baby talk. Okay, the gold is in. I'm going to shut my mouth, and I will see you in a bit. Hello, my babies. We are just about done with this page. She's come a long way. Yes, still sloppy, still messy. I need to readjust my camera. How's that? Was that a little bit better? Was that a little bit better? A little bit better? Not hanging off the desk? I know, I really should come up with a better solution for the camera angle, but your girl has some goals. Your girl needs to save for a new phone, and your girl also needs to save for a shipping label printer. Both very expensive, I know. But we're scrimping and saving a couple pennies here and there. We'll get there eventually. And then after that, I might do some kind of new situation for the overhead shots, because I know they're a little wonky. I would ideally like them to be directly overhead, but we're working with what we've got. For now, what was I saying? Oh yes, we are done. We are just about done. The page is a little crispy. I was using alligator clips to clamp it down, and I think I'm actually going to still use the alligator clip to clamp it down as I'm working, because it's kind of annoying. But right now, all we are doing is adding the highlights with a white Posca marker. I said that I was keeping the highlights off of the actual figure, and now you can probably understand why. Because it would have been overkill had I gone in and added the white highlights everywhere. So now it's just going to be accents of white. I love the Posca. It's my favorite material for doing highlights. So all I'm doing here is quite literally just sparkling the girl up in a few places like this. like that. Just some sparkles, because it wouldn't be one of my pieces without some sparkles, right? I'm almost tempted to go in and add some glitter in a few places, but I think the gold being in the background, I think that's enough. And then we can move on to something else. I have other things to do today. I am still working my way through the Patreon rewards that I feel like I've been working on forever. But you all, it takes a long time. I'm one person and I need to address many envelopes. I need to trim down the prints a little bit. I need to trim the backing board. And it's a lot. It's a lot. So bear with me. To my patrons who are watching this, your reward is coming, I promise. But remember, I can't do everything in one day. Unfortunately, I wish I could, but I can't. But you see how cute just some little sparkly bits are? You can't go wrong with a little bit of sparkle. You just can't. You can't. I don't care who you are, male, female, sparkle saves. It does. It does. So cute. I just love that. I was going to put some sparkles in the background too. I might. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, we'll give her some little sparkly bits in her skin. Like so. We need some sparkles around the eyes, yes. Right here. Cute. And let's see. I think that's fine. Let's do a little bit of sparkle magic over here on her outfit. Not too much, because this is where you could easily do the overkill on the sparkle and then it overwhelms the piece, but I think that's enough. And should the orchids get a little bit of sparkle action? Should they? Yeah, why not? Just a little bit. So with this, my nasties who are still with me, who sat through this entire video, it wasn't exciting. It was a big, fat, sloppy pep talk, basically. So if that's not your thing and you've long checked out, I get it. That's all right. I'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully, I will have something exciting to talk about, but I can't guarantee what's going to happen. I never know what's going to happen. I could have an exciting week. I may not. I don't know. Whatever we're going to talk about is whatever we're going to talk about. But for now, our lovely little garden confection, our little orchid lady, she is done. So thank you so much for hanging out. Let me know what you were doing. Were you sketching along in your sketchbook with me? Cooking, cleaning, you know. I always want to know. I'm curious always, because whenever I turn on YouTube videos, particularly long form videos, I'm always puttering about doing something, whether it's a manicure, folding laundry, dishes, whatever it is, something. I'm always puttering around. And so I don't know, I'm just curious to see what people do. I know that some of you do join in and you break out your sketchbook and you sketch with me, which is super fabulous. It's like a little friendly hangout sketchbook session. We love that. Very cute. And I keep saying that I'm done, and you know how I do. Sometimes I just continue to add lines as I feel like adding lines, such as right now. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. Everything you need to know will be down below. Links to the supplies, links to my website, my shop, my Patreon, all of that good stuff, always down below. But as usual, just feel free to bookmark my website, because you can find all of my socials and my Patreon directly on my website. We are done. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to keep sketching just a little teeny tiny bit when I shut off the camera, and then I will insert the final shots. You know, the pivots, the tilts, so you can see all of the sparkle and all of the glitter, just the nuance of the sparkle as she's rotated. So I am done. Thank you so much once again for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed it. Take a look down below, and I'm going to take off now. Be bad, be good. I don't give a damn which. Just come back in one piece. Okay? I will see you in the next one.
Perfect, perfect.